Welcome to a special edition episode of Dingers and Dashers. My name is Josh alongside my co-host Adam. It's a great day to talk all things baseball today. Let's get right into it.
The divisional round was insane, Josh. Tigers, Mariners, Dodgers beating the Phillies in four, Blue Jays destroying the Yankees.
One more. The Yankees lose.
Brewers Cubs series was insane. Josh, we have a lot to recap, a lot to look forward to. Let's talk all things baseball. Let's get right into it, Josh.
The Yankees lose. The Yankees sent home packing. Look, I know I picked them in the last round, but I am so happy that the Blue Jays proved me wrong. The Yankees getting beat by the team from Toronto. Adam, what did you see in that series?
The Yankees lose. I thought that little clip with Vlad and David Ortiz was hilarious, and I'm also happy to see the Yankees lose, even though I picked them. Um, yeah, Blue Jays came out firing. Vlad with hitting homers in almost every game. He's incredible. I loved what I saw from the Blue Jays. I love the energy that they're bringing, and I'm looking forward to them showing it against the Mariners in the ALCS.
Yeah, it was dinger after dinger after dinger. Let's talk about a couple incredible other dingers. Let's go over to Tigers Mariners. What a game five that was, going 15 innings. That was amazing. I fell asleep in the 14th inning personally. I was pretty upset when I realized that. I woke up at like 4 in the morning and said, damn. But Adam, that is October baseball at its finest.
Yeah, I haven't seen a game like that in a little while, and that was incredible to see. The pitching was a masterclass. What I saw from each of their bullpens, from the starters who had to come out after pitching maybe on 3 days rest, and then coming out pitching 3, 4 innings. We had guys like Jack Flaherty coming out pitching great. Logan Gilbert. I mean, I saw a ton of great pitching in that game, and Jorge Polanco walking it off. It was just an incredible series, and I think no matter who won, Tigers or Mariners, you would have been happy with them in the ALCS.
Yeah, I will say Jack Flaherty impressed me the most, coming out on such limited rest, pitching out of a jam with the season on the line on the road. Can't ask for better pitching. Moving to the side of a little bit of a poopy play on a pitcher's side. Yes, let's talk about Dodgers, Phillies. Adam, what happened?
Man on third, darting for home. Orion Kirkering picks up the ball, bobbles it, tries to make the play at home, and he's safe. Andy Pye's darting for first base, gets the walk off, and it was just a little mistake here from Orion Kirkering. He panicked. He had the guy at first. Would have saved the day for the Phillies. Instead, he makes that error throw to home as he's panicking, and Dodgers walk it off. Sad way to go home for the Phillies, but it was a great series for the Dodgers, and they deserve to win that series.
Obviously, you feel for the pitcher after such a great season to have it all end like that. But hey, that's just baseball sometimes. But again, another season where the Phillies have not been able to get over the hump, not been able to win with Bryce Harper on their team, not be able to take advantage of Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner still somehow in their primes right now. And that's been a recurring pattern for the Phillies. Obviously, last year losing to, I believe, the Mets in the playoffs as well. It's tough. You hate to see it sometimes, but at the same time, Nats fans over here, NL East, we don't want anyone else from our division winning. So if not the Nats, not the NL East.
Josh, let's head over to the Brewers Cubs, the last divisional round matchup. Brewers and the Cubs both dominated on the home field advantage. Brewers winning 3 at home, Cubs winning 2 at home. The reason for the Brewers moving on. Yeah, divisional matchup, rivalry series. Great game five. Yeah, the Brewers and the Cubs. They were both too much for each other on the road. Um, yeah, Josh, I think that I want to see the Brewers win so badly against the Dodgers because they haven't won it. The Mariners haven't won it, and Dodgers. Nobody likes the Dodgers, so like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, the Cubs facing so many elimination games already in the playoffs. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. Look, I think that the Cubs had a great season. I said it at the start of our predictions too. I said at the start of the playoffs that for this season, The Cubs could have definitely gone all the way, but I think where they got to is honestly enough in the grand scheme of things. You're putting yourself on the map. You're reestablishing yourself as a great team. Um, I was amazed by Seiya Suzuki. Pete Crow Armstrong had a really nice play in center, but Andrew Vaughn, Sal Frelick, the long ball, that was the killer of the Cubs last night. They just couldn't get it going. And at the beginning of the series, I said I have the Cubs winning because of the long ball, because the Cubs hit more dingers, they hit more home runs than the Brewers, but that was not the case last night. I was amazed. I thought Jacob Mizorowski had a great game 5 after a shaky start in Chicago. I liked what I saw from the Brewers. I would
Yeah, the
love to see them.
the Brewers just
Yeah.
rally, Josh. They just rally. They got guys who love the game of baseball. Every single time someone gets on, they want to move them along, and it's just great energy in Milwaukee, and I want to see it going into the LA series.
So speaking of the Brewers moving on, that's right, Brewers Dodgers, two of the most impressive teams in the MLB. One with a very modest payroll in the Brewers, one with a enormous payroll in the Dodgers. Give me the Brewers in 7. Look, there's a couple things I'm factoring in here. The Brewers have that home field advantage, and they showed how lethal they can be at home with their fans. The Brewers were 6-0 against the Dodgers this season, sweeping them both times. To me, that's enough to see the Brewers are winning in 7. I understand the Dodgers are lethal. That's why I have this thing going 7 games. But I think that game 7 at home, Bob Uecker magic in the air, it's the Brewers' year to win.
Yeah, Josh, I agree. It is the Brewers' year to win. However, I'm going to go with the Dodgers in 6. I don't want to pick it, but I'm going to pick it. Shohei Ohtani had like one hit in the NLCS game, if I'm right. I think he's going to be a big factor. I think he'll turn it around. The Brewers had a dominant 6-0 record against the Dodgers this season, though I do not think they'll get it done. The Dodgers are really hot right now. The Brewers are pretty hot. I just think something that the Dodgers have that the Brewers don't is a more star powered lineup. The Brewers got a very like fluent lineup. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to play. I just think the Dodgers have guys like Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, who are going to hit those long balls, hit those big situation homers, and I think they're going to send themselves to a second straight World Series with a chance to win it again. Josh.
Understandably, that I might be a little bit biased here, as well as the Dodgers now are a very different team than they were in 2019 when the Nationals beat them in that divisional round series. But to me, I just look at that 2019 series and I see that teams with spirit and teams kind of with some fire to them, with some life in the dugout, who are playing for something. Brewers playing for maybe Bob Uecker, Nats were playing for Baby Shark. A little bit different things there, but I just think that like in baseball, heart trumps star power, and I think the Brewers have so much more heart and grit in the game right now.
Yeah, Josh. Speaking of heart, the Mariners and the Blue Jays, two of the most dominant, heartfelt teams in the league. I didn't know a word to pick right there, but when you think of the word heart, you think of the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Both teams playing with fire. Both teams want to win the World Series so badly. Mariners have never won it. Blue Jays haven't been in a long time. Um, yeah, Josh, I'm gonna go with the Mariners in 7. I'm so excited for this series. I think it's gonna be incredible. I think the Blue Jays will have chances to win it. I just think the Mariners pitchers will get it done in the clutch. I think Vlad's gonna have another great series. I think though Bo Bichette being out did not hurt him in the Yankees series, because I think the Yankees pitchers just weren't very good, and the Blue Jays could just dominate them hitting wise. But I think Bo Bichette might be a big loss for the Blue Jays Mariners in this series because the Mariners pitchers are so good. But the Blue Jays have a big advantage going into the series because the Mariners pitched so many guys late in that series. Game tonight, they're not going to have a lot of bullpen available.
That's true. They will not have a lot of bullpen available, at least early on in the series. But I've been so impressed with their starting pitching that I don't think that is going to matter per se. Um, I know this isn't the approach to go into, but also keep in mind it's a 7 game series. A game 1 loss is a little bit less detrimental if those pitching arms do come into play. I have the Mariners winning in 6. I'm so on the fence about this series. Because in my mind, I can close my eyes. I can see the Blue Jays running away with it. I can see the Mariners running away with it. It is so hard to make a call. I'm just so convinced by the magic and the grit and determination that I saw in that extra inning game against the Tigers that went to 15 innings. And that showed me, look, sure, maybe the offense fell asleep a little bit. Maybe, you know, the Blue Jays scored more runs. They blew out the Yankees in some games, but the Mariners showed that fight and they showed that never say die energy. It's so hard to call, but give me the Mariners, the heart and soul of the American League.
Yeah, Josh, you're going with the Brewers and the Mariners. Two teams who have never won a World Series. I love to see it, Josh. I want to see it so bad. I could also see the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. I could see both series going at either way. This is the most open playoff we've ever seen, and I'm so excited for it. I'm all here for it. I'll be watching every single game. I know you will be too, Josh.
Yeah, the action starts tonight, 8 p.m. Blue Jays, Mariners, you do not want to miss it. This is going to be one of the best series that we've seen in recent playoff history. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dingers and Dashes today. I've been Josh, that's Adam, and it has been a pleasure.